Hey, so we're back with the second video about how you can get money right now with AI. We've already went over all the options, and the best option that we've landed on is AI powers or AI services with a personal brand. Whether you're making that for somebody or you're doing it for yourself, this is something that we've landed on. I'm quite interested in, so let's see how fast we can make money from this.
So you get a clear understanding of how you can actually do it, right? It's really just any service you provide using AI. It's like anything where AI does the heavy lifting, right? So it could be you're helping someone with LinkedIn content. Maybe you're doing YouTube thumbnails and scripts, or maybe it's email marketing, webinars, or an AI powered DM setter. You can see that all of these examples that I'm giving you, they actually can be done without AI. But the thing is, with AI, it really does like 80–90% of the work. And that's the beauty of this opportunity right now. So the difference between an AI automation agency and an AI powered service is that an AI automation agency is just one specific type of an AI powered service, right? You're going into a business, you're automating something so that a human doesn't have to do it, right? That's just one type of service. But an AI powered service, it's literally any service that exists where you're using AI to deliver, right? And moving forward from this point on, I would say pretty much everything is going to be an AI powered service, because like, why wouldn't you use AI, right? Because this is just where the future is headed. And the cool part about this is when you're selling an AI powered service, you're selling first and you're building later. You're not wasting 6 months of your time to build the perfect product, right? You're talking to customers, seeing if they want to buy it. If they give you money, then you deliver, okay? And it's as simple as picking a service, landing a client, and using Claude to deliver the work, and you just get paid to learn from your clients. And that's how my clients like Sandy did it, right? She didn't know anything about AI automations when she got started, but this company needed specifically SEO, right? And they wanted to use AI to generate these blogs. And she was like, okay, well, I think I can do it. And so they gave her a shot. They paid her, 3,000 something per month. And then she delivered results so good, in fact, that she bumped the pay to 5,500 and expanded more of what she's doing for that specific company. Now, I want to explain the whole personal branding aspect of this, because even with a service, eventually it becomes commoditized, right? People can copy what you do. So any product or service in the era of AI can be copied. So the defensible moat is actually distribution, meaning it's your ability to get attention online with content and finding ways to differentiate yourself from everybody else by showcasing your personality, your expertise, and your client results, similar to how I have a YouTube channel here, right? So the markets and technology and the trends are always going to change, but when you have a strong personal brand, you can adapt to anything and practically sell any kind of offer. So for me, for example, if you're curious on behind the scenes of what a 370,000 personal brand on YouTube can actually do, I have a few different things I sell. Number one is Founder X, which is helping people probably like you guys, quit their 9-to-5s and start a business. And so we have a whole program for that. I also have Founder X Plus, where I specifically target businesses and provide a deeper level of service, which is very different from helping someone start from zero, right? So, and in the future, as I become bigger and I work with different people, I can create AI softwares and really sell any kind of AI powered service in the future if I partner with different people. There will always be people who are willing to fulfill and do the work. The hardest part about making money online, I would say, is getting the customers. And that's why I'm so focused on building a personal brand so that people actually come to you instead of you always having to chase them.
Now, and that's why I was mentioning earlier about having to pay for ads all the time, because if you keep having to pay for ads, then it's going to be a problem. It's going to cut into your overall profit, and you might not even make any money from these ads. And eventually, you're just going to be funneling so much money in, just hoping it works. But if you have a personal brand or a brand that you're building in general, people are going to come for the brand. And now it's like, okay, I can promote here because people already follow me. People already watch my story. People already like my content. So it's easier for it to go up from there.
Real quick, if you want to learn how to build this type of business like me, where you have a personal brand, 1 or 2 years, right? We all knew nothing about AI back then. We all became experts just from putting out content, trying things ourselves, and sharing our journey. So if you're starting out and you're like using Claude for the first time, understand it's okay, because probably like 99% of the world hasn't used Claude in general, right? So this is your opportunity to get ahead of the curve while it's still hot, and not a lot of people have realized how big this opportunity is. I mean, for Sandy, she literally went from 200 subscribers to over 15,000 subscribers in the last 2 months, and makes 10K a month as someone who was considered a beginner just a couple months ago. So if she can do it while working a full-time job, I don't see why you can either. Now, in order to find your business idea, I want to share this concept with you called the Ikigai. And the Ikigai is really just a Japanese concept that helps you find your reason for being, meaning it aligns what you love, what you're good at, And I actually created an offer that solves one of my problems, right? So as a YouTuber, one of the biggest challenges I have is script writing, because sometimes when I sit down and write an entire script, it takes quite a while, it could take many hours. And if I had someone doing this for me or helping me do it, I would be willing to pay thousands of dollars to help me write these scripts every single month, right? And so if someone created this kind of service for me and they were actually good, and even if they use AI to do all of the work, I would pay for that result. So let's say we have a YouTube script writer, they're getting in the game. They want to use AI to help, creators write their scripts, and they filled out this Ikigai. What happens at the end, and what is this going to look like? So once you fill out the Ikigai, it's going to give you some kind of report that looks like this. So it's going to be designed already because I already prompted it in this way. And so this is going to be the one-person AI'd YouTube engine for ad agency founders, right? So this example, I said, hey, let's try to do YouTube script writing specifically for agencies, ad agencies, and let's just run with it, right? So it's going to give me a score of how good this opportunity might be, recommended price point of how much I should be charging per client, and then what would it take for me to get to $10,000 a month, which is pretty much just 5 clients, right? So here you see the Ikigai of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, what can be paid for, putting it all together to find something that fits your specific needs. Now, using the skill I gave you, it's going to also do extra research to figure out, what are some angles that are already saturated, because yeah, there are YouTube script writers out there. So how are you going to differentiate yourself from everybody else? What are the underserved gaps? What are people saying on Reddit, X, Twitter, all the different forums, so you can find the specific language to see where the demand is at. And then we're also going to dive into which platform you should be building on, right? And so for this particular offer, it's telling me, hey, you should definitely be on YouTube, which makes sense, because if you're script writing and you have a YouTube channel, it's just proof that you are who you say you are, right? And not only that, but it's going to give me all the different competitors who are doing something similar to what I want to do. So I can find a way to not compete directly against them, but find a blue ocean and do something a little bit different that maybe these guys aren't willing to do. And so if you kind of go through this whole thing, you see how in-depth it is of going what are other people charging and all this kind of stuff. And it does the research for you, right? Then it gives you okay, what are the different offer possibilities that you can sell, and it also puts together a 30-day plan of what you should be doing every day in order for you to get clients, even if you're starting from zero. So the reason why I created this skill is because I know a lot of you guys, you really get in your head sometimes, right? Of I don't know what idea I should do, or I don't know if it makes money. How do I know if I'm gonna love it? Well, whether it's on LinkedIn, X, YouTube, doesn't really matter. It depends on the offer you're selling. The second is outbound, reaching out to people. And even if they don't know who you are, just do it cold.
I really do like this idea that he's pushing. I really do like everything that he's saying. I just feel like we should already be having a service instead of trying to reach out to people and say, hey, would you want this service? We already have a service. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm thinking about making a script service that can be tied with the YouTube thumbnail, or maybe a clip software that can be tied with a YouTube thumbnail. So that way people can come over here, they can get their thumbnails, and they can get a good clip real quick, and they can post it. I feel like that would be invaluable, and I'm going to go with that. So that's what I'm going to be working on for the next week, looking into that. I'm going to actually ask Claude the code about that right now so that I can do with this video. So it's a beautiful day to be alive, baby. Happy Monday to you. Let's get this money so we can all be successful this year. Use AI to make our